Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well and are having a flare-free day. Recently on my channel, I've been getting comments on videos around the basics. How do you get traction for yourself? Where do you start getting answers? Where do I even start the process of getting a name to my pain? I know how daunting and overwhelming it can be at the beginning when you start feeling new pains and symptoms show up unannounced. You wake up with a new body that you didn't recognize the night before, and it can be really overwhelming to know where to start. As someone who has gone through the process, trial and error for years, I have a step-by-step guide that has helped me gain traction for my endometriosis journey that I hope will provide you with some sort of a beginning step-by-step guide to start getting traction for your pain, your health, and your wellness. You are so deserving of answers, and so I hope this step-by-step guide helps you in your journey. If there's anything that I've missed that has helped you in your specific journey for answers, feel free to comment it down below, as I'm sure it will help somebody else in their journey to finding answers. I'm not a doctor or medical practitioner. I'm a patient speaking on my own experiences, so it's really important to go talk to your doctor around any new, changing, or recurring symptoms that you are experiencing. I also want to preface that every country and every region is different when it comes to healthcare, when it comes to getting answers, resources, and the amount of endometriosis specialists that might be available to support. So something to keep in mind with your specific country, that getting answers and an endo specialist on your side might take shorter or longer depending on where you live. So with that, let's dive into my step-by-step guide on starting your endometriosis journey. The first step that I would recommend when you're trying to get answers for your endometriosis journey is to start tracking your symptoms. The most powerful tool and the most powerful thing that you can do for yourself is to provide evidence to your doctor around what is going on with your body. In high school, you may have been writing an essay on something that you really care about, and it might be flat or it might not be as believable unless you include research, data, evidence to support your main thesis or your main claim. The same is true with your health. The best thing that you can do for your journey at the beginning for answers is to come prepared, is to come with evidence, tracking at least 2 to 3 months of symptoms that are constantly recurring for you. Myself, it was constant upper right thigh leg pain that happened at the beginning of my cycle, or the symptom that constantly showed up on the days of my period that were constant excruciating pain in my lower abdomen. I then started to add to that list of symptoms: brain fog, fatigue, pain so excruciating that I now know is a flare-up that I was unable to move my body and do the things that I wanted to do, and continuously showing up on a monthly basis. Grab your journal or a piece of paper or a sticky pad or notepad or notes in your phone and start tracking your symptoms. When you feel those symptoms show up, you're going to rate the following things: your pain level from 1 to 10. The type of pain that you are experiencing. Is it cramping? Is it a dull ache? Is it a sharp stab? Is it radiating? Is it hot? Is it cold? The next thing you're gonna write down is cycle patterns. Write down when these symptoms show up. Is it the first day of your period, the last day of your period, your full cycle? When you're writing down your cycle patterns of when this symptom is showing up, you also wanna jot down if you're bleeding, so if you're having your period, if you're bleeding outside of the time of your period, if you're spotting, meaning that it's not like a full flow of blood, but you have little spots of blood when you pee or you look in your underwear. You want to also look at irregularities when it comes to your period. Are you bleeding more heavily than normal? Are you not having a period? Are you missing a period, but these symptoms are still showing up? These are important clues and evidence-based information that you can bring to your doctor in your first visit. You also want to jot down things that might seem taboo, but are very important to jot down with an endometriosis journey. GI issues, so gastrointestinal issues. A lot of the times with endometriosis, there are symptoms that show up that are similar to irritable bowel syndrome symptoms or IBS, so like bloating, diarrhea, constipation. Painful bowel movements or painful urination is so important, and at the end of the day, doctors have heard it all. They've been there, they know it. These little details that may not seem important or related might be when it comes to endometriosis. Write down also energy levels and fatigue around the time of these symptoms. Oftentimes when it comes to endometriosis, it's like a full-blown thunderstorm of symptoms showing up at the same time. So if you're experiencing bloating on top of painful period cramping, on top of leg pain, on top of fatigue, energy levels are also something to take note of. Include anything that you think is unusual. Painful urination, like I've mentioned, painful sex or intercourse. Over time, You will find a process where you are writing new symptoms or recurring symptoms on this journal or your app or your notes app on your phone. This will build a larger picture of evidence that you can present to your doctor. At the beginning of your journey, you feel like you've just opened the puzzle box and all of the puzzle pieces are on the table. Some are upside down, some are there, some are missing, some are on the floor. During the beginning stages of your journey, when you are tracking your symptoms and writing them down, you are starting to flip the puzzle pieces. You're starting to pick the puzzle pieces up. You're starting to put things together to make a full picture for your doctor. The next thing that you're going to do in this step-by-step guide to get answers for your endometriosis journey is to set up an appointment with your family doctor. You are deserving of answers. You are deserving of support. Your pain is valid. Regardless of the pain levels that you've acknowledged, whether it be 1 to 10, you are deserving of answers. If you want to start getting traction for your health and your well-being, you are deserving of setting up that appointment and going and talking to a medical provider that can provide assistance for you. So, family doctor-wise, you're going to call up the clinic and set up an appointment to say, I have these recurring symptoms. I'd like to discuss the possibility of suspected endometriosis. You can use that script if you'd like. If you don't want to dive directly into endometriosis, you can say, I have these recurring symptoms around the time of my period. I would like to talk to my doctor about this. If you don't have a family doctor, and this might be the case if you're in Canada, the family doctor wait lists are huge. It's very hard to find a family doctor. And so if you're in this boat of floating in the healthcare system without the doctor, you're going to either use a virtual care support line. Another option, if you don't want to use the virtual care aspect and see somebody in person, is to go to a walk-in clinic close to you. The next step that you are going to do before you go to your appointment, you still haven't gone, you still are at the really beginning stages. What you're going to do next is you're going to go onto your computer or your phone and you're going to type in endometriosis specialist near me or endometriosis specialist in blank city, or endometriosis specialist in this state or province. You want to jot down that name that comes up for you and bring it to your appointment so that, again, you're providing evidence and building that puzzle piece of evidence for your doctor to make it easy for them to say, okay, they've kind of done the back end research on this, so they're coming prepared. So what I did in my journey was I had all my symptoms jotted down. I called up my doctor and said, I'd like an appointment. I then went on the Endometriosis Network of Canada, and they had a list of endometriosis specialists by region and province. So really streamlined Canada-wise. I'll post that link down below. If you're in the United States, the Endometriosis Foundation of America may also be a great tool for you to find an endo specialist. Also, your family doctor may have an endometriosis specialist in mind in that area or region. Doing your research and coming prepared can make it a little bit easier on you as the patient to get answers and traction. Once the day of your appointment comes, you're going to have your health card, you're going to have your insurance card if your insurance covers these types of visits, you're going to bring your journal or symptom tracker with you and the name of that specialist that you uncovered. You're going to talk about your symptoms, bring up the taboo ones as well, okay? Those GI, diarrhea, constipation ones, you're going to bring it up. You're then going to say, based on these symptoms, I personally believe that I may have suspected endometriosis. Do you believe the same? If so, I would like to be referred to an endometriosis specialist. I found this one in the region that might be taking patients. Start with that. I want to highlight that oftentimes in your endometriosis journey for answers, you might be referred to different people at the beginning to rule out different things. So you might think it might be endometriosis or suspected endometriosis, but you might be dealing with something else like adenomyosis, PCOS, ovarian cysts, fibroids. So the list kind of goes on symptoms that are very similar and present very similar to endometriosis. So a doctor is there to rule out other things and to make sure that they're narrowing down exactly the root cause of what this pain is. You might be referred to a gynecologist in your journey to talk about different things in your cycle, especially if there are irregularities with your symptoms when it comes to getting step-by-step guidance on your endo journey. It is somewhat common to get that referral out, to start getting tests done, to rule out other things that might be happening with your body. So again, a transvaginal ultrasound might be the first step in this to investigate what's going on. Sometimes transvaginal ultrasounds can pick up deeply infiltrating endometriosis or can spot endo, but sometimes Endo can hide on imaging techniques, unfortunately. So if you have a negative ultrasound result, meaning that they didn't necessarily find anything, it doesn't mean you don't have endo. It just means that it was not picture ready that day. You might have blood tests done to rule out other conditions such as thyroid concerns or vitamin deficiencies, things like that. In some cases, an MRI might be suggested, especially if there is bladder or bowel movement involvement with symptoms. You've done all the back end, you've written your symptoms, you've gotten an endo specialist name. You want to make sure that you're just topping it off with this gorgeous little cherry on top. So you want to come prepared with questions for your doctor. Here are some questions that I would ask to start getting traction for my journey. Could these symptoms that I'm presenting to you today be related to endometriosis? What tests can we do to investigate this pain further? Make it clear in that appointment that it's not just about the symptoms, that it's about your quality of life. They're hindering my ability to go to school, to go to work, to do the hobbies that I love. Be clear that it's not just about your period. It's about your quality daily life. If your doctor is dismissive, which might be the case, ask, can you explain to me why you believe it is not endometriosis? This shifts the conversation from you justifying your pain to them justifying their decision. If you are not happy as the patient and you believe that you're being dismissed, you are so deserving of a second, third, fourth opinion. And I believe in you. I know it is so hard to advocate when you are exhausted and feeling pains and discomfort, but you are so deserving of a doctor that believes you. And if you need any other motivation, I personally just switched family doctors from the city that I moved to recently. So you are not alone if you feel like you are starting from scratch with a new doctor. I'm gonna tell you a secret right now. Switching doctors was the best thing that I have ever done for my endometriosis journey. I finally have a doctor that believes my pain, believes my story, advocates in the healthcare system for me. I have an endo specialist on my team now that I have been referred to, and I have an appointment set up in the new year with them. My journey has excelled and propelled and is just moving so much faster because I made the decision for my health and body to get a second opinion. You are not alone in it. I know. And it's okay to take a break. It's okay to not advocate every day of your life. It is exhausting. Just remind yourself and promise yourself to put one foot in front of the other, make the phone call, write the symptom down, and keep going. The next step that you're going to do in your journey for answers, you are going to be your number one advocate. You are going to awaken something in you that you may not have ever recognized with yourself before. You're going to be the most confident, persistent person and version of yourself that you have ever seen. This is your health. You are in the driver's seat. Sometimes that means being persistent. Follow up on referrals or test results if you haven't heard about them in the following 2 to 3 weeks. If a doctor says that no more tests are required and everything came back normal, but you are still feeling pain, discomfort, you're still not able to do the things that you want to do in your life, you're going to politely ask that doctor, what other steps can we do or what other resources exist to find answers for what's going on with my body? Consider getting your medical records and advocating for another doctor or seeking another medical opinion if you are feeling dismissed in this journey. The final thing I'll say in this video to getting answers for your journey at the beginning is to manage your pain while you wait. This is probably the hardest part of the whole endo journey because you're trying to advocate for answers, but you are still potentially living with this daily, if not weekly pain. What you're going to do in this stage while you wait is you're going to be proactive around providing so much love and care for yourself. Using heat packs or cold packs, depending on what works best for you and your pain during a flare-up, might be helpful for managing pain that comes up. I really want to be mindful that if you do use heat packs or heat therapy, to wrap it in another layer so it's not direct heat on your skin. It can lead to additional burns, scarring, and additional concerns. So when you're using heat or cold, make sure there's a second layer or third layer to protect your skin. Introducing omega-3, leafy dark greens, turmeric, ginger, nice calming teas. These are little things that you can do to kind of help manage the pains and symptoms while you wait for answers. Not a nutritionist, but these are some things that have helped manage my endo pain that has shown up unannounced. Explore gentle movements like yoga or stretching. This can help pain and stiffness. Prioritize rest and listen to your body. Your energy is precious, especially when you are your number one advocate. Getting answers for your health can feel like you are climbing a mountain. but every step forward is progress. Remember, you are not alone in this. You're not imagining this. You deserve medical care that listens and respects you and your body. Let me know in the comments down below where you are in your chronic illness journey, as well as what has worked for you to get answers and traction for your endometriosis journey. Together, we can start getting answers for our health, our body, and our well-being. I cannot wait to talk to you on the next one.